Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nate Manahan, and I am here celebrating 20 years of PayProTech PPT, helping sales professionals across the U.S. help and sell merchant services. But I'm not here alone because this is office hours, and when we do office hours, we bring three of the best looking individuals in the PayProTech nation all together on one screen from three different cities across the U.S. On the far left-hand side of the screen in New Digs in Glenwood Springs, Colorado, is Jenny Rickel. Jenny, how is life in the new offices where the air is crisp, the mountains are tall, and, well, I think you probably have snow unlike we do.
It's fantastic here. I am not so happy about this wall behind me. So before the meeting, we were talking about that I'll get some new logos, especially celebrating the 20 years, right? We need some new stuff. So it's pretty fantastic here. Loving the new place.
That's awesome. It's good. It's good to have some newness and freshness. This is our
Newness,
first time
yes.
getting back into the grind of doing some the POS or not POS brain. My POS is on my brain because that's what we're going to be talking about. Doing office hours, first time in 2024, from 2 hours north of me in Warsaw, Indiana, Mr. Mike Stetzel. Mike, how are you? And I am sorry about those Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Neither of us are good in basketball, but at least my Wolverines, who I am wearing and supporting today, did win the national championships the last time we did this show. Have to bring that up. But Mike, how are you? Are you surviving?
True. It was the last time. And I'm also a fan of Notre Dame women's basketball. They're still holding their own. They're not the powerhouse they were, but doing good. And as you can see, my glasses are tinting a little bit because I'm surrounded by sunlight in my office. It's exciting, slowly getting clouded up as I literally say it. But very excited to talk about POS today and new things that not everybody even knows about yet. So stay tuned as we roll out this awesome show today.
Oh, it's good. Not everybody knows because, well, Google this year tried to throw us. We knew that they were going to have some new spam filters that they were putting in, they said, in February of 2024. And they announced it October 23rd. We've been watching it. But apparently we didn't read in quite as much as we should have, because when we started launching our new cluster POS, that's when Google decided to start putting us in the spam filters. But now we're fixing that, and Google's no help, but we have hired some other people that have helped us figure that out, and we're always glad to figure that out to get there. That means you may have missed this. Now this stuff is probably coming to your inbox, and what I'm talking about specifically is, let me bring up the screen, is cluster point of sale. If you go to mypapertech.com here, I've already opened the screen there for you, but I'll flip back over. It's just you scroll down. One, you can see the presentation here. Click on the section. That's what I've already opened. And you can see that we have all kinds of new materials about this thing called Cluster. Well, Cluster it's a point of sale from Canada that's been in existence since 2009. It's, to our knowledge, the highest rated on Google reviews point of sale, which is hard to do. In merchant services industry and as merchant sales professionals, it's hard to get good reviews because they only review us when we're bad. They have a 4.9 rating with hundreds of reviews from all their customers. They've done over 2,000 rooftops in the Canada, and now our friends from the Great North are bringing their system, and we are the first ones to be able to offer it. And so as we talk, as we do here in the office hours world, as our solution of the week, it's just that. It is Cluster. Cluster POS is our solution of the week. You should be talking and thinking and learning about Cluster. We'll talk about that a little bit more, because now not only it's the solution of the week is Cluster, but now we're going to have the tip of the week, and we're coming to Mr. Mike Stetzel. Probably going to have something to do with Cluster. What's your tip of the week, Mike Stetzel? How are you?
I'm dancing. Thank you. Good. You know what my tip is, and this is a new mantra I think we're going to start sharing here, is consider Cluster first when it comes to restaurant POS. Obviously, PayProTech has done a lot of work and a lot of diligence in creating this relationship and getting us access to something like Cluster. It is going to fit the bill for the majority of your restaurant needs. There's one little piece as far as kiosks go, but in the majority of our restaurant installations, those are not even part of the solution. So consider Cluster first. CCF.
We can take everything and bring it back to an acronym. I like CCF. I was trying to think if there's, I don't think anybody can come up, because the word cluster, let's be honest, can say, so in the U.S., apparently this is not a Canadian term because they created this thing in 2009 and going in. But having a cluster bleep, I really need to I have a button over here that I could just turn into a bleep. I need to do that.
Let's do it.
But that is a phrase that's commonly learned. In fact, since I've been working with Cluster for the last several months, I have a storage of audio recordings of podcasts and videos that I've been watching where they use that phrase. And it's up to, I think, 36 different times in the last 3 months where I've been listening to something that's, and they just use that phrase. It's a common phrase in the US. And I've been talking to restaurateurs. It's a common phrase in restaurants because when everything goes, they say this is becoming a complete Cluster bleep. But we're taking Cluster bleep and bringing it to Cluster love. And one of the ways we're trying to do that is by creating we'll call it a tool that Jenny's going to I'm going to work with her, kind of talk about. We created a new tool to help us use Cluster. What is that new tool, Jenny?
POS Express. We have an actual lead. It's similar to the POSlead.com, but POS Express is going to be very specific to Cluster. And it's actually really nice because in addition to be submitting the lead, you'll also be able to see the status and what is going on with the actual request. So has anybody worked it? Has a demo been conducted? Are we going to place the equipment? Like whatever step it is, you as a sales partner, you can review that. So you have just a little bit more access, a little bit more control. So you can communicate all of that with the business owners that you're trying to set this up with. So it's a really great tool to help us monitor and make sure that when you are interested in Cluster and you want to take the opportunity to present that to a business, you can know what stage it is from front to back the entire time.
Well, let me do a quick demo so you can kind of see. I should have probably asked permission, but I did. Each one of you, whether you submit your lead the first time or you can go to membership.pptposexpress.com. We'll just talk about that again and sign up where you just have access. But this is the POS Express where you can see this is Ruben Ortiz and he has his own account. Now, he did not set this account up first. He did submit a lead first at payprotect.com/cluster lead. But that meant that those leads that he submitted were immediately, these are late last night. It goes into this form first, clusterlead.com, and then you can try to move these and it will move. But when we redo it, it doesn't do anything for you. Eventually, we're trying to lock you out of even being able to move. Not that we don't want to do it, but this is showing you what's going on. But I'll tell you, he got a text message as soon as we sent it over to Cluster that a Cluster specialist will be reaching out to him shortly, and that is within 24 hours. They're going to be able to reach out to him, and you're going to be able to see, are they doing a demo? Have they put an estimate? You'll be able to do that. Now, we're going to text and email you when you fill out that form. So I pulled up the form so you can kind of see it, but you can easily jump in, put your name, all the contact, just like you would over in POS Lead, but you can check this little button down here that you're going to get emails no matter what. We're going to email you every time anything happens with your merchant. But if you want to get text messages, some of you, I think, would like that because you want to get alerted even faster. You don't manage your inbox all the time, but you're always managing your text messages. I know some of you are like that. You can check that box and we'll text you when all that happens. But as we walk through that, then you also have the experience, because over here, if I clicked on it, you're also the pptposexpress.com. When you're logged in, you can be part of a message board. There is a course. You can see I have a thing, Joe Madrano there. You can see I replied. He asked about a kiosk interactive display. They don't have a kiosk yet. They do in Canada, but they don't have an integrated one for the payments for here in the US. So we answered that question there. You can go over to the learning and take the Cluster 101. And hopefully in the weeks and months to come, we're going to create a couple other courses. So it's on demand for you to learn about Cluster, to learn about restaurant POS. But we want you to consider Cluster first. And then if it's not a fit, if you go through all the stuff and you're like, well, they're missing something. We don't know what that is. Kiosk is the one thing that we know that they don't have. Or they're like, man, I'd like to look at our system. Just ask and we'll quickly move that over to the whole POS team. We're just making this so it's streamlined for Cluster to make it easy to work with. And this is the first time. Our goal is to eventually do this for all of our POS systems, work with what the POS Express is actually linked directly into their CRM where they're managing and working with you as partners. And every time they make a change, we're trying to show you that change within the POS Express. We're still working some of the kinks. We're not perfect. We'll love ideas. Currently, we have 25 different alerts that can be sent out to you. And each one of those alerts we have hopefully there's some fun Easter eggs in some of those alerts. So if you have multiple merchants that are going through some of those alerts when they get to demos or when they get with the celebrations we have, when they decide that they're going to actually jump on and get the DocuSign and go in with the POS Express, Cluster, it's going to be fun. We're going to do some fun things, but I'm excited about this. But it's
pretty
been
cool.
We're working on it. There's a lot of stuff we're working on, and we're rolling in to a a special time of the year. I love this time of year. It's February. We just got past Valentine's Day, past my dad's birthday. That's always, for me, as a kid, that was always the mark, because I'm looking forward to March, to basketball season, my
Yes.
favorite sport. Even though my team is not good this year, my favorite sport growing up always has been basketball. I'm already starting to think about what I'm going to do and how I'm going to have 4 screens in front of me for those days in the beginning of March Madness to watch basketball in every game, take it in. And there may be something we're going to start celebrating next week. And you know what next week is, Mike and Jenny?
Yes.
Hmm.
Which part?
Leap Day. We get
Yes,
to celebrate
sir.
Leap Day. We haven't.
Not
uh,
neat.
That's the 29th. We get an extra day this year. That's kind of fun, right? We're going to have an
And then
extra
the
day, and
day
we're going to
after
celebrate
that,
that.
we're in March already.
Yep. I think there's going to be some exciting announcements to come in this next week. I didn't ask Mike or Jenny who was going to give the final word that we always do here, and I didn't put them on the spot. So you know what? I'm just going to make Mike Stetzel do it because I know he'll handle it. It is time
Let's hear
for
it,
our
Mike.
final word. Mike,
Final word.
for here on February 23rd, what is the final
Nate's,
word here in office hours?
Nate's really hinting a lot. It makes it really exciting to be here today and to be part of PaproTech. And we had a great meeting this morning talking about March. For those of you that have been around a while, March brings some excitement here at PaproTech. So stay tuned. I know that there's going to be some fun things coming from Nate's team on Leap Day, February 29th. We could also use extra deals that day. It'll put us ahead of the last 3 years for that day. I can tell you that. But just again, spring is coming, and let's go. This is the beginning of season 3 of Office Hours. We're ready to kick this off. Come see us again next week. It'll be fun. I promise.
We will be back. We're doing this weekly. We do these kind of in 8 to 10 week seasons. This is our 3rd season. It's great to be back here as we give you tips and tools and solutions to be part of the great PaproTech PPT universe, now celebrating our 20th year. In fact, earlier today, we were celebrating. Today was Michael Thomas's 15th year celebration. I've been here 11. Mike, you've been here
10 in
10?
April. I've been
10 in
9 right
April?
now. 10 in
Okay.
April, yep.
And Jenny, you're 3, 4?
I'm going on
No.
5.
Yeah,
Man,
she's almost
man.
5. I was going to say.
See, the time flies when you're working in part of the PPT.
It really does.
So it just goes. So thankful to be part of this. We will see you guys next week. It should be right around noon. If you want to make sure, I see a couple people were watching live. I don't know who you were, but thank you for doing those who watch it afterwards. But we're going to be at right around noon, and you just go to YouTube, go to the My PaproTech YouTube channel, make sure you're subscribed and that you've clicked that bell so you get those notifications. Because I know down here, I see it on my phone. I've got a notification that we're live. I'm not watching us because, well, that would be silly for me because I'm here. This is all working here. I don't need to actually go over to my phone and watch it. But you could get that notification so you can join us live. Thank you guys, everybody. Thanks, Jenny. Thanks, Mike.
Bye,
We'll see you next time.
guys. Have a great one.